So, you know how we're always talking about AI and its incredible, like, potential, right?
Right.
But you've been sending over some articles, some research, and it sounds like you're wondering if maybe there's another side to this.
Yeah.
To all this AI progress we keep hearing about.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
you seem concerned about, well, about power, really? Like, is it too much power concentrated in the hands of just a handful of companies?
Yeah, definitely.
So we're doing a deep dive today looking into, well, the heart of the AI race.
Okay.
And we're using some excerpts from a recent BBC podcast
Okay.
with, like, some really big names, some major voices in AI and tech, you know.
Oh, interesting. Who?
And it's fascinating, you know, because these excerpts, they kind of pull back the curtain on what's really driving this whole AI boom. Like, we hear all the time about all these brilliant minds, right?
Right.
Working selflessly, only for the benefit of humanity, all that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the narrative.
But you dig a little deeper and you see this is cutthroat. This is business.
Absolutely.
With some really big players going head to head for AI supremacy.
Definitely, yeah.
So it's interesting, right? Two names that just keep coming up over and over.
Who?
Demis Hassabis.
Okay, yeah.
From Google's DeepMind.
Right.
And then there's Sam Altman, who's heading up OpenAI.
Yeah, OpenAI.
Which is, of course, now, you know, heavily backed by Microsoft.
Right, right.
And it's almost as if they're like the figureheads of this whole thing.
Totally.
Like this AI arms race we're in.
Yeah, it's like Google versus Microsoft.
Exactly.
With everyone else trying to, I don't know.
Yeah, keep up.
Keep up.
Yeah.
And they're both, you know, playing their cards close to their chest, I guess.
In what way?
Well, take Hassabis, for instance.
Okay.
You know, he just achieved a lifelong goal of his.
Oh, really?
Won a Nobel Prize.
Wow. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, which is incredible, right?
That's amazing.
But it makes you think about Google's strategy here, right?
Oh, so. I mean, are they prioritizing this groundbreaking research above all else? I mean, maybe even with, you know, a little side of Nobel Prize glory, right? Yeah. But are they overlooking, I don't know, the ethical side, the ethical considerations?
Right. It makes you wonder.
It really does. Because, I mean, it's amazing he achieved his dream, obviously. But does that ambition overshadow everything else?
That's the question.
You know?
Yeah, totally.
What are the trade-offs?
And what about the rest of the field? Right.
Right, exactly.
I mean, while these giants are just, I mean, pouring billions into development.
Billions, yeah.
Smaller companies are struggling, you know, to even keep up.
Right.
Startups getting bought up left and right.
I know.
It's like, is there even space for independent innovation?
That's the question, right?
Or are we just heading towards a monopoly? Or a few monopolies?
It's a scary thought, really, isn't it?
It is.
That this technology, I mean, we always talk about it, right? Ushering in this new era of abundance of progress.
For everyone, right?
Right, for everyone. But it could end up just making the problem worse.
Yeah.
More wealth, more power, concentrated in the hands of a select few.
Right. And that's
a scary thought.
It is a scary thought.
Really scary.
Yeah. And then you've got Meta.
Right. Meta. What are they doing?
It's like they're giving it away. Yeah. The AI software.
Right.
Just giving it away.
It's interesting.
Which seems crazy, right?
It does.
Because it's like the opposite of this whole winner-takes-all mentality.
It's true.
That we've been talking about.
Right, right.
So it makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
Are they playing a different game altogether?
Totally, yeah.
Like while everyone else is fighting over here for the AI pie?
Right.
Meta's just like, hey, we're going to get users. We're going to get data.
Yeah.
Data dominance. You know, that's got to be it, right? That's their angle. That's the question. Yeah. I mean,
the $1 million question.
What are they doing?
Right.
But it just shows that this isn't a simple, you know, two-sided thing.
No.
There are so many different motivations.
Right.
Different strategies at play here.
Absolutely.
Different visions for what the future of AI is even going to look like. You know?
Yeah. And speaking of the future.
Yeah.
A big part of it depends on regulation, right?
Totally.
Which is another big thing that these sources bring up.
Yeah.
And big tech, I mean, they're fighting it.
Oh, yeah.
Tooth and nail.
Every step of the way.
Every step of the way. Against regulation.
What are they saying?
Claiming it's going to stifle innovation.
Right. Right.
And let China, you know, take the lead.
The classic regulation's going to stifle innovation.
Yes, exactly.
But is it true? I don't know.
I mean, it's the classic argument,
Yeah.
but is it true?
I mean, look at other industries, right?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Airlines.
Okay, yeah.
They have tons of regulation.
Yeah.
And it's led to, I mean, safer products for sure.
Right.
Arguably more innovative products, I think.
Right. More innovation.
You know?
It's interesting.
It really is.
So are they just trying to protect themselves? I mean,
Are they just trying to avoid accountability?
is that what it is? Right. I mean, that's the question.
It's a big question.
Yeah. Are they just afraid of someone looking over their shoulder, right?
Could be. Could be. And you know, it's interesting. You mentioned Europe.
Right.
They're not shying away from regulation, are they?
No, not at all.
In fact, they're leading the charge with that. What is it?
The EU's AI Act.
Yeah, the AI Act. Exactly.
And meanwhile, here in the U.S.,
Yeah.
crickets, pretty much.
Yeah, no kidding.
No comprehensive federal regulations.
It's like two different approaches, right?
Total opposite ends of the spectrum, it seems like.
Yeah. And what does that mean? In the long run, I mean,
I know. What happens? What are the experts saying?
well, some are saying, you know, the EU's approach, yeah, maybe it's a little slower,
Okay.
but it could actually, you know, lead to a more responsible AI ecosystem.
Interesting.
Like build trust, you know,
Okay. Yeah.
and maybe even give them a competitive edge in the long run.
Really?
Yeah, if consumers start caring more about ethical AI.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, businesses too, right?
Yeah. If it's like a selling point, like,
Totally, totally.
hey, we're the good guys.
We're the ethical ones. Yeah, exactly.
No.
It's ironic though, isn't it?
What's that?
Big tech, they're always talking about, you know, pushing boundaries.
We're innovation.
Yeah, innovation, all that.
Right.
But then they're terrified of these regulations.
Right. It's like they're afraid.
Yeah, like it's going to stifle them. But
Yeah.
maybe it wouldn't, right?
Maybe it would actually level the playing field, and then
Sincere.
we'd see real innovation.
It's like this tension, you know,
Yeah.
between like unfettered progress and actually developing this stuff responsibly.
That makes sense.
And it's not just about innovation either.
What else then?
It's about power.
Ooh. Okay.
The more powerful these AI systems get,
Right.
the more important it is that we've got,
Guardrails.
yeah, guardrails, safeguards, whatever you want to call them.
Absolutely.
And that brings us to another big concern from these sources.
Okay.
Surveillance capitalism.
Ugh. Yeah, that's a whole other.
Yeah, what does that even look like? With AI, I mean...
Right. Because I get it, right? Companies collecting our data.
Mm-hmm.
But how does AI make it worse?
It's like they're taking data collection to a whole other level.
Okay.
AI systems like constantly watching,
What?
monitoring everything you do online.
Oh, no.
Offline too, your location,
No way.
your conversations, even like what you're feeling,
Are you serious?
all to figure out how to manipulate you.
That sounds like something out of a movie.
Right.
A dystopian sci-fi.
Totally. But like, are we really headed there?
I mean, is that what the experts are saying?
I mean, not that it's inevitable,
Okay.
but it's a real possibility
Yep.
if we don't, you know, if we don't do something.
Right. If we don't course correct.
Exactly. And some of the stuff in these sources, like, it's a little, I don't know, it's a little unnerving.
Give me an example.
Okay, so there's this one part, right, where Altman basically says
Altman. Okay.
that OpenAI, they need to be able to break copyright law.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
They just admit to it. Like that.
It's more nuanced than that.
Okay.
But they're basically saying copyright law is outdated.
Okay.
That they need to be able to use like all this data,
Right.
even if it means using stuff that's copyrighted.
Wow, that's bold.
It is, right. And a little scary. Like,
It is scary.
what else are they willing to do
Yeah.
to get what they need?
Right. Where do they draw the line?
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, can they even regulate themselves?
It's a good question. With all this money flowing in.
Right? I mean, OpenAI, they're all about, you know, benefiting humanity.
Right.
But they're funded by Microsoft.
Right.
Microsoft has its own agenda.
For sure.
And then you've got reports of OpenAI hiring, like former NSA people.
Whoa. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
So the future of AI is in the hands of like
Right.
companies with ties to intelligence agencies.
That's, I don't know, it's a lot.
It's murky, that's for sure.
It is murky. Yeah. These sources, they really,
Tangled web, right.
they do a good job of showing you all the gray areas.
It's not so black and white.
Not at all.
So what can we do then?
I don't know. It feels like
It's so complex.
it is, yeah, and potentially dangerous.
Yeah.
So do we just like sit back and hope for the best?
Is that it?
Or, you know, I don't know.
I mean, there's got to be something, right?
There are some like glimmers of hope. maybe.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay, so, for example, you know the U.S. Department of Justice?
Yeah.
They're investigating Google. Yeah. Potential antitrust violations.
Oh, wow, okay.
So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, if they find something, that could be huge.
Right. That could be a big deal.
Totally.
And then there's us,
What can we do? Besides,
besides just being worried.
Yeah, exactly. Besides doom scrolling all day.
Right. We have a role to play, too, I think.
Okay, I'm listening. What can we do? Yeah, I mean, it's like, what do they say? Vote with your wallet, right?
Exactly.
If we all start demanding better, from these companies,
Yeah.
they'll have to listen eventually, right?
They will. I mean, it all comes down to
Yeah.
us realizing that we actually do have power.
Right, collectively.
Yeah. As consumers, as citizens, we can demand a better AI, a more ethical AI.
Absolutely. And that means, supporting
Yeah.
the artists, the writers who are like pushing back against all of this, right?
Totally. They're on the front lines.
Because their work is being used
To
train these AI systems.
Without their consent, it's crazy. And
It's a whole other layer to this, isn't it?
it is. It's huge. And their livelihoods are at stake. It's serious.
That's right. And it always seems to come back to this question of
what?
Of control,
Yeah. Who's in control?
Who has it? Who benefits?
Right. Right now,
Because right now, it doesn't feel like it's us.
No, it feels like a select few.
It feels like it's a select few, which is why
Yeah.
I'm glad we're having this conversation.
Me too.
That we're doing this deep dive.
We need to keep talking about it.
We have to shine a light on all this.
People need to know what's going on.
Because the future of AI, it's not like predetermined, like it's not set in stone.
No.
It's being decided right now.
It really is. Like, every choice we make,
The questions we ask
every action we take,
shapes this.
it shapes the future.
It really does.
So the more informed we are, the better, right?
Absolutely.
The more engaged we are, the better chance we have of, steering this thing in the right direction.
Yeah. Steering it in a direction that benefits everyone.
Everyone, exactly. Not
just the select few.
a select few, yeah. No.
So, okay, for our listeners out there who are maybe feeling a little, I don't know, overwhelmed by all this, maybe a little powerless, like what can they do?
You know what I always say is your voice matters.
Yeah.
Your choices matter.
Absolutely.
Stay informed, stay curious, and speak up. Don't be afraid to speak up.
For the future you want.
That's it, because it's not written yet.
It's not written yet. That's such a good point.
Right.
The AI revolution is here.
It's here.
But will it be a revolution for everyone?
That's the question.
Or just for a select few?
We get to decide.
We get to decide.
Hopefully.
I like to think so. All right. On that note, we're going to wrap it up.
Great conversation.
This has been a really, really thought-provoking deep dive.
It has.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you to our listeners for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next time.